Well, all aboard and welcome aboard. This is How Not to Game with Callie Jack. I'm Callie Jack, the gaming persona for the Rex channel, and we're still looking at the Simutrans sessions here, and this is the Pak128 First Serious Try Sessions, Episode 4. Welcome aboard, welcome aboard. As I start taking and doing a little bit more work, yes, I did just notice that I double posted certain episodes in Devil's Towers. I'm sorry. Don't know whether that was a glitch on the system or whether I glitched. Probably me glitching. I'm old and glitchy. What can I say? I'm a glitchy kind of guy. Hey, what's this message? Oh, they just continued a sailing ship on me. What's this message? New water ferry extension. Mail extension. Small. Ooh. New suspended railway vehicle now available. Ah. So we can build a suspended railway? The monorail? This ought to be cool. Monorail track now available. Yep, we can build monorails. Okay, guys. This should be an interesting game. I'm Callie Jack. As I said, it's episode 4. We've taken care of the basics. And I'm joking, but at the same time, I'm serious. I really should start a counter on just how many times clearances is going to bite me. Clearance height is going to bite me. Because I'm going to be like that bridge that you see in all those videos that eats trains. That's going to be me getting eaten by the bridge. Only it won't let me build those bridges, thank goodness. Anyway, I was taking a look at what we need to do and how we need to do it as I unpause the game. In 1 second, I did just step in from getting the mail, so unfortunately that means I breathed in the inversion, so I need to clear my nose. The joys of living in a valley in western Utah, or Utah. You get a thing called inversion during the winter. And yes, I go through a lot of cough drops because of it. I'll be setting one up to take and use after the end of the episode. As I sit here and we look at our trains, it does cause some delays, yes, to not be double tracked, but at the same time, I really can't afford double tracking right off the bat. We're going to have to put in a couple of sidings. I know that. But right now, what we're going to do is we're first going to get the coal and then the sand over here to this spot. So let's make a spur siding right there to take and get the sand off. This will become our new through line to let us get coal into the system from those two coal mines up to the power plants, as well as to other places they go down the road. But this is our big run. This is our first big grab. I made a mistake. I should have went with one of the other glass factories, but that was the one tied into what we'd already developed. I did want to take a look and see it's only 1,500 for restore natural slope in this game in the Pak128, so that's a $500 savings. I can actually do more of it down the road to take and make things look more natural and more like real world. Going to take and get our set going for the trains, and the first thing up is that train all the way out, but we need that passing segment here to get him out, just to be safe. The reason I say that is we're going to have coal and glass coming out, as well as the coal coming in. Now, the one thing is I can't do the two-toned platforms in 128, so I can't make my platforms automatically be visible as this is my unload. So I've got to cheat. And that cheat's going to involve putting the coal loading station, or down the road as other loading station thing types come in. Ah, my system's overheating, so the mouse is acting up. I can do just like with the passenger stations, have different types of pieces on here for the various kinds of loading, like a porch or something like that, to take and indicate which one's which. Probably do them at the end of the line or off to one side. Maybe even as an in-between point. Who knows? After all, this is how not to game. I keep reminding myself of that. So right now I'm going to do a little bit of groundwork. And I'm going to do the worst kind, in my opinion, which is that kind. All right. And knowing that we've got that, I'm going to go ahead and 1, 2, 3, and there's my coal loading station. Coal station. Take and get it out so that we're dumping the coal as we come through with the cars. At least that's the appearance of it. Okay. Makes it so I know this is my input, this is my output, this is an input. Go out to where the sand is at, drop down my first set of station platforms there on the close one. I'm only going to do a 3, and that should let me get started, and then down the road we'll add in those 2 coal mines to take and start getting them to run coal over for power. And those are just going to come straight up, so I'm going to have to take and do a different type of throat here to take and make everything work out. It's going to make it a little bit more jammy, but oh well. Let's do a signal fix here before we send out our trains and learn the hard way. I know that's not how to game, not how not to game. Grab our trains and we'll dispatch the coal and the both on the cheaper end, on the chippy end. And they'll both use hoppers, so I can copy the convoy right off the bat. I know that. First one's up first. He's coming from this loading station and going to this point. 100% that load. This is Collier 3, but this is the glass Collier. So this is eyeglass, ip glass. Ip's glass Collier 1, we're going to call it. And yes, my mouse is acting up, in part because I did change the way a few things are sitting on the desk, and also the amount of heat being blown out by the system right now. I need to take and grab the air can, clear it out. It's heating up the cable. Looking good there. Launch him. The other guy is the sand truck train. And that's the long one. I'm going to back out so I can get to it faster and get back up here faster. This is going to be a long haul run, and we better put in our platforms before we unleash the train, shouldn't we? There we go. 100% him. This is the Ips Glass Sander 1. And And he's fired away and running. All right. So that's 2 more trains running on sections of tracks that weren't being used before, and now we can start thinking about other items. But the downside is we're in the negative territory. So what do we got to do? We got to do that dreaded thing. Turn on the free play mode so we can run in bankruptcy mode. Because this is my first time through. Hey, we're not going to be doing good. The account balance just recently, within the past month, went into the negative. We spent over $185,000 getting that set up. And it's going to be a while before that starts paying off. Now I'm going to start setting up those first coal train lines. And we're not going to do much. We're just going to make these quickies. And then I'm going to take and do a passing siding here. Oops, that didn't work. That's not what we needed to see. And because I do have 2 trains along this stretch, I need to take and do it here, and this will avoid having to do, there we go, use the control key to take and avoid it tying itself back in at where it thinks a maximum siding length needs to be. Get them signals on them. And now I can drop coal loading platforms again. And again, I'm only doing 3 longs because that's all we're getting. And I don't really need to hold 1,200 freight in these guys. At least not initially. We'll see what we can do down the road by adding a couple of trains. It might be that I can get 2 trains out here on these with the right siding amounts. Do need to take and do a little bit more signaling work. We need to take and signal each of these stations so that they don't interfere. And I probably should consider some form of a secondary siding in here because there's really 2 stretches here, as well as one over here somewhere. And that's going to require a little bit of groundwork, which I didn't want to do, but at the same time, money's money. We needed money. And let's go ahead and do our signals like that. A one-way here and a one-way there. That gave us one more. Now we can launch 2 more coal trains to start making some money. Hopefully. We don't make the money we did in the other game, though. That's for certain. So this is a much different level of game than we are used to playing on. Get him over to the power plant. Make certain we 100%ed it. We're going to call this Telford Power 1. So this is Collier 3 for the Telford Power Plant. Get him running, and then the other one's going to come from that far this guy. And again, same thing. Get him up to the power plant, unload him, and that's Telford Power 4 Collier. And we're just going to start using the number. All right, now it's time to see just how bad this is all going to bite us. So we've already gone almost a year since the last time you saw me, just letting it run. In background, I did not mean to do that. I thought I'd hit pause. I missed. I hit the question mark. So looking at this, looking at months, we want to watch our monthly. And it's staying flattish. Oops, that's because we're looking at the wrong thing. Prof. We're delivering enough to offset some of it, but not enough to offset all of what we're going to be eating. I have a bad feeling about. And I think until we're completing a complete run, it's going to be an issue. So we're 259 in the hole now. But we're only losing about 3,000 to 4,000 a month. That's the good news. I can live with this. I can live with this. Maybe you guys can't. I can. I've scraped back from worse. At least game-wise. All right. We're at the 17-minute mark. I'm going to call this a good episode because we've got everything taken care of. There is something running on every section of rail and multiple things on certain sections. Yes, it is time to start considering a bigger throat and maybe detaching some of those so that we can go into multiple different loading stations at Telford Power. So, I'm Kelly Jack. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like, share, subscribe. And have a better day than I'm having.